This is an applied problem about quality control. A sample of 125 spark plugs contained 4 defective spark plugs. How many defective spark plugs would you expect to find in a sample of 500? Well, let's start with the first step in the problem-solving process, which is to familiarize ourselves with the problem. And what we need to do here is to assign some variable to the number that we're looking for. So let's let D be the number of defective spark plugs in a sample of 500. This is the sample size that we're interested in. Now that we have a variable assigned and we've familiarized ourselves with the problem, we can go to the second step, which is to translate. And in this case, we can translate to a proportion. We can write a proportion in which the numerators are the number of defective spark plugs, and the denominators are both the sample size. So I'm going to have one fraction here, and I'm going to have another fraction here with the same information in the numerator and the denominator. Now, we are told that in a sample of 125, there are 4 defective spark plugs. So we can write one fraction, or one ratio, as 4 over 125. In a sample size of 125, there were 4 defective. We're interested in a sample size of 500, and we want to find the number of defective spark plugs, and we named that number D in our familiarize step. So we now have a proportion that we can solve, and let's go ahead and do that. The third step in the process. 4 over 125 equals D over 500. To solve this for D, I can multiply both sides by 500. 500 times 4 over 125 equals 500 times D over 500. When I do this multiplication on the left, I get 16. So 16 is equal to D. Now we need to check this in the problem to see if it's a good answer for the original problem. And one way that we can do this is just to check the ratios. We had a ratio of 4 over 125, and in decimal notation that's equal to 0.032. And let's see if D over 500 or 16 over 500 is equivalent to that. And it's true that 16 over 500 is also equal to 0.032. So since these ratios are the same, we know that the result is correct, and we can state the answer now. You would expect to find 16 defective spark plugs in a sample of 500.